you very, very much for having me here this evening. Thank you ever so much. I like living here in Denmark because I get a lot of friends and family coming to visit me, and they love Denmark. They love Denmark so much, and because they come from England, the bar is so low. The bar is so low. They say things to me like, "Oh, Conrad, it's so nice here. It's so nice here in Denmark. The people, they don't even spit on each other. It's so nice. It's so nice living here in Denmark. I was visiting you. I was on the train going to Aarhus. Really nice. And there was free Wi-Fi on the train. Very nice. And I had to go for a massive shit. And when I came back, my computer was still there. It's really nice. I was walking down the street and I saw a pram, and inside the pram was an abandoned baby. Just like in England. And then I realised the parents were inside a restaurant. It's so nice here in Denmark. I was leaving my mother. She was going back home, and she turned to me and she said, "Conrad, it's so nice here in Denmark. It's so nice. There's not even any homeless people." And I said, "No, Mum, that's because homeless people here in Denmark dress better than British people." Yeah. Danes spend a lot of time telling us English people there are words that we don't have, like hygge. In the English language, you do not have hygge. Hygge is a feeling of security and safety and happiness that we don't have in England. We don't have a word for something that doesn't exist. But Danes sometimes think that we have words that we don't have. For example, they think that we call it a pissoir. We don't. We actually call it a urinal. Ugh. That doesn't sound nice at all, but the Danish word sounds very nice. It does. It sounds like a new fancy French restaurant. Have you tried the drinks at Pissoir? And Danes are very humble. I feel like they're very, very humble people, except for a couple of things. Like dansk vand. Danish people just took all sparkling water. It's true, you could be in a rainforest in Guatemala ordering a club soda and your friend Jesper would say, "Nej, det er dansk vand." They are very humble people, except for the dansk vand, and also when it comes to trains. As we know here in Denmark, there are 3 types of trains. There are regional trains, there are intercity trains, and there's something known as the intercity lightning train. Ooh, the Lunto, wow. When I first heard about the Lunto, I was thinking, wow, what incredible Japanese technology must this be? So exciting, wow. I book my ticket, I get down to the train station, I'm trying to look for the lightning train. I'm imagining it has flames down the side, blue electricity, straight from the subways of Tokyo. Whoa. No, it looks exactly the same as every other shitty diesel train. The lightning train, so fast. You can go from Aarhus to Fredericia in 1 hour, 15 minutes. Whoa. Or you can drive in 1 hour and 14 minutes. Whoa. I started looking it up. I was wondering what Japanese technology have they used to get hit from Aarhus to Copenhagen that little bit much quicker. And that's when I realized it's nothing to do with the train itself. It just doesn't stop in Middelfart. It's true. It just fucking goes straight through Middelfart. Like, oh, okay. No. Immigration's a controversial subject in this country, and I think that there should be a test to become a Danish citizen, but I don't think it should be anything to do with the language and, you know, learning about the Queen's favorite cigarette brand, anything like that. I think it should just be a DSB door, and if you go up to it and you start doing this shit... Night, Nesta. No CPR card for you. I love that there's a picture on the door of what to do. It shows you a hand doing this, and we look at that and go, that's not going to work. And you know there's that moment sometimes when you're on the train when you stand up and there's that person that's doing that at the door and it's your stop and you're looking at that person. Their name is usually Vibeke. And there's an increasing triangle of hatred behind Vibeke. Are we going to work today? Why did nobody work in Weiler the other day? Oh, fucking Vibeke was on the train, that's why. Danes are very, very good at the English language, but they, of course, secretly sometimes switch into the Danish language. And this usually happens when they're doing mathematics. That's true. Danish people love to use mathematics in Danish. They like the extra challenge of it. I was with my friend Jesper, and we were doing buying some food, and I said, how much should I mobile pay you? And that's when he secretly switched into Danish. He's like, yeah. I was like, Jesper, man, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm dividing the number of Vikings by the years that they raped Britain. There are some things that I will miss from the pandemic. One of those things is the mundbind. It's true. Does anybody miss the mundbind? Give me a clap. No, I speak on behalf of all of Denmark. Nej tak. I will miss the mundbind, and here is why. Because do you know how easy it was to speak the Danish language when we had to wear a fucking mundbind? Every international in Denmark and Vestjylland learnt the Danish language in 1 year. It's true, because you could always blame the mundbind. Normally, when you're snackering dansk with a Danish person, you start snackering, and they immediately look at your mouth and go, ooh. Hvad snakker du om? But when you had mundbind, you could just blame the mundbind.
Oh, det er på grund af mundbind. På grund af mundbind. Det er derfor, min dansk er så dårlig. Ja.
I was wearing the mundbind and I was in Føtex. Ooh. Ginger people have money. And I was buying some cool in the cool afdeling. I was buying some meats, and that's when I looked up and I realized that there's actually a slagteri in the Føtex. That's true. There's a slagterman in the corner of the Føtex. It's true. International people don't know about this, but in every Føtex, only the Danes know there's a real slagterman in the corner. I was wearing my mundbind. I was feeling confident. I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to snack some dansk. Yeah. So I went over to him and I started snackering. Hvad snakker du om?
På grund af mundbind. På grund af mundbind.
Sure enough, he believed my mundbind story. We started snackering. He thought I was from Weiler. We're having a good time. And I bought some cool, and then I was leaving the Føtex, but it wasn't over for me. I needed to re-snacker. You know, after you snackered successfully with one Danish person, you're kind of like looking around, want to snacker again. And that's when I realized that outside the Føtex was a fiskervogn, a fish wagon. And inside the fiskervogn was a fiskerhandlerman. Yeah. And I want him to handle my fisk. So I go up to the fiskerhandler, and I look down at the different fish. Now, I don't eat fisk, okay? And this is how white and middle class I am. I immediately thought I needed to ask him a question, and that was, do I need to cook this? Yeah. Because I don't know, can I just eat this with my bare hands? So I start snackering dansk with him, but that's when I realized that I don't know how to ask that in Danish. My Danish is very, very dårlig. So as I started snackering, I was in way too deep. I was like,
Skal det opvarmes? Skal vi varmes op, den fiskehandlermand? Kan du varme op min fisk?
Hvad siger du? Hvad snakker du om?
Oh, på grund af mundbind.
And that's when I realized I wasn't wearing a fucking mundbind. I feel like you can tell where you are in Denmark by the pigeons. It's true. Like that time, I was in Copenhagen leaving that Føtex, and I walked outside and I had some pølsebrød. And there was a large, very large, fat Copenhagen pigeon. Wealthy Copenhagen pigeon. Wearing a medallion. And I took some of the pølsebrød and I threw it down for the pigeon, and it looked at me and, I only eat at Emery's, thank you very much. Meanwhile, in Randers, you could take a used condom, flow it on the floor. They'll gobble that right up. You guys have been so much fun. Thank you ever so much for having me here this evening. Thank you so much. You guys were wonderful.